right. This time you've given us a real historical puzzle.
Yeah.
Sources on the fall of Baghdad, but not just the siege itself.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking aftershocks rippling across Central Asia.
Wow.
And this rise of Islamic Mongol dynasties.
Yeah.
That's a lot, so let's dive in.
The backdrop itself is fascinating.
Right.
12th and 13th century Central Asia.
Yeah.
It wasn't a quiet place, just waiting for the Mongols, you know?
Right, right.
You had the Abbasid Caliphate.
Oh, yeah.
Big name, but fading.
Right.
Seljuks.
Right.
Powerful Khwarezmians.
Mm-hmm.
All these empires bumping up against each other.
Yeah.
It was a recipe for chaos, even without Genghis Khan.
So already tense. Then you add in the Otrar incident.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about trade deal gone wrong.
Oh, yeah.
What happened, and why should we care about it now?
It's such a good example of how, like, a little thing can have huge consequences.
Yeah, domino effect.
Exactly, like dominoes.
Right.
Imagine this, Mongol caravan rolls into this Khwarezmian city, Otrar. The governor, Inlalchuk, he's suspicious.
Okay.
Thinks they're spies, seizes their goods.
Oh.
Some say he even had the merchants killed.
Oh, wow.
Now, Genghis Khan,
No.
he was all about trade and safe routes.
Right.
This was a personal insult.
Yeah, like a slap in the face to the king.
It was an insult to his whole system.
Right.
He built this thing on trade and safe passage.
Yeah. So did Genghis Khan just go to war right away?
He tried to be diplomatic.
Okay.
Demanded the governor be handed over.
Right. Standard procedure.
For justice. But the Khwarez Shah, he doubles down.
Oh, no.
Refuses and executes the envoys that were sent to negotiate.
Oh, that's a big mistake.
Fatal mistake.
Right.
Genghis unleashes the full force of the Mongol army.
Oh, man.
Like a wave across the land.
Yeah, and those Khwarezmians, they were supposed to be powerful.
They were, but
they just get rolled over.
They crumble.
So Baghdad must have been freaking out.
Absolutely.
Right.
They were the buffer, the shield between the Mongols and the heart of Islam.
Yeah.
Once they fell, Baghdad was exposed.
Yeah, totally exposed.
But there's another thing.
Okay.
Some evidence that the Caliph al-Nasir might have tried to ally with Genghis Khan against the Khwarezmians.
Seriously?
Years before.
Or it's like inviting the wolf to protect him from a fox or something?
It's hard to say what he was thinking.
Yeah. Was he that desperate?
Man.
Or was there some other power play we're missing here?
Historians are still debating this.
Right.
Was it desperation?
Yeah.
Miscalculation? Maybe he thought the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
But we see this kind of thinking all the time.
Yeah.
Underestimating the threat.
Right.
Thinking they can control the chaos.
Right.
The consequences were huge for the caliphate.
Yeah. So the stage is set.
Yeah.
For the fall of Baghdad.
Right.
But before we get there, there's this whole assassin thing.
The assassins.
This always gets me.
They're fascinating. It's like a movie.
More than a movie.
Right.
They terrified medieval Europe.
Yeah.
The assassins, this branch of Ismaili Islam, famous for their mountain fortresses and their reputation.
Yeah, as assassins.
You got it.
Right.
Espionage, skilled warriors, taking out political rivals.
Right, so a real threat, but why were they a problem for the Mongols?
Well, they controlled those mountain passes and trade routes. They were messing with the Mongol expansion.
Okay.
And there's that story about them trying to kill Munka.
Oh, wow.
The great Khan himself.
So they were trying to take out the big guy.
Whether it's true or not, it sealed their fate.
Right.
Hulagu Genghis's grandson, he was given the task.
Okay.
Expand west, subdue Persia, eliminate the assassins.
Wow.
Baghdad was on the list.
Right.
But the assassins were a priority.
So this Hulagu guy sounds intense.
He was.
Did he just walk over the assassins, or was it a hard fight?
He was ruthless.
An effective element, their main stronghold, besieged, Hulagu used a combination of military force and psychological tactics, generous terms for surrender, total destruction for those who resisted.
So it was either join or die, basically. And that worked.
It did.
So the assassins who had basically scared everyone.
Yeah, for years.
They were just gone.
Yeah, essentially.
That's chilling.
It is.
But it makes you think Hulagu had just shown what he was willing to do to get what he wanted.
Yeah.
So what chance did Baghdad have against him?
That's the big question.
Right.
Baghdad was already in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Now they were facing someone who would stop at nothing.
And that sets the scene for the siege.
It does.
One of the biggest turning points in history.
Absolutely. So you've got Hulagu.
Yeah.
Fresh off his victory over the assassins, turning toward Baghdad.
Right.
And you've got the Caliph al-Mustasim facing this unstoppable force.
It's a clash of civilizations.
It is.
But also a story about how people react under pressure.
Right.
Yeah, I bet the Caliph was feeling the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Did he even have a chance?
Not much.
What were his options?
He was getting advice from all sides.
Okay.
Some said fight.
Right.
Some said negotiate. And he probably underestimated Hulagu.
Yeah.
His ruthlessness.
Yeah, and then there's this controversy.
Right.
About his vizier.
Yeah.
Muayyad al-Din al-Okami.
Al-Okami?
Ooh, a controversial vizier.
That's right.
Those are always interesting.
They are.
What's the story there?
Well, he was a Shiite.
Okay.
In a Sunni caliphate.
Right.
Some accounts say he was working with Hulagu.
Oh, wow. A traitor.
Okay.
Okay.
Sabotaging Baghdad from the inside. Even encouraging the attack.
Uh-huh. So playing both sides.
Possibly.
Right.
Others say he was loyal.
Okay.
And he was scapegoated.
Oh, so we don't really know.
It's a mystery. Maybe we'll never know the full truth.
Okay, so we've got a caliph under pressure.
Right.
A maybe treacherous vizier.
Right.
And a Mongol Khan.
Yeah.
Who just crushed the assassins.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
Right. So much drama.
In January 1258.
Okay.
Hulagu lays siege to Baghdad.
Okay.
Brutal, weeks-long assault.
Right.
The Mongols, masters of siege warfare.
Yeah.
They had catapults, battering rams, you name it.
And Baghdad.
Couldn't withstand it.
Yeah.
The sources describe the aftermath as horrific.
That I bet.
Destruction libraries burned.
Oh, man.
Civilians killed.
Knows how to bloodbath.
The Tigris River.
Yeah.
Said to have run red with blood.
That's a really powerful image.
It is.
So you can see why people call the Mongols destroyers.
Right.
But we were talking about a twist, right?
Yes.
Something about a Muslim Mongol Khan. Does that come in here?
Here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
While all this is going on, far to the north, Berk Khan, ruler of the Golden Horde.
Right. Huge territory.
Yeah. From Russia to Central Asia, he converts to Islam.
Wow.
Yeah.
A Mongol Khan converting to Islam.
Yeah.
And this is before Ghazan Khan.
That's right. Even before the fall of Baghdad.
It's like a whole different perspective.
It changes everything.
Right.
Historians are still trying to understand it.
Yeah.
Was it a gradual thing influenced by Sufi mystics or a sudden awakening?
Right. A true conversion.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But the impact was huge.
So imagine that Genghis Khan's grandson.
Right.
Embracing the religion of the people the Mongols are conquering.
It's hard to wrap your head around.
I bet it caused tension in the empire.
Huge tension.
Right.
Berk sees the attack on Baghdad as a betrayal.
A betrayal of Islam.
Exactly. Oh, no. He condemns it.
Right.
This creates a huge rift.
Okay.
More than just geography.
Right.
It's ideological.
Right.
Family doesn't matter anymore.
So the Mongols go from this unified force to divided, turning on each other.
That's right.
It's like a soap opera.
Yeah. History's full of drama.
Right. So what happens next?
Well,
do they actually fight?
The tension builds for a few years.
Okay.
Then in 1262, open war.
Wow. So Berk and Hulagu go to war.
And get this.
Okay.
Berk allies with the Mamluks.
The Mamluks.
Of Egypt.
Right.
A rising Islamic power.
Okay.
Who had already beaten the Mongols.
At Ain Jalut.
Right.
So a Mongol Khan.
Right.
Fighting with Muslims.
Yeah.
Against another Mongol Khan.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
What was Berk thinking?
Hard to say.
Was he a true believer?
Maybe.
Or was it just power politics?
Probably both.
Right.
Concern for Muslims.
Yeah.
Strategic considerations.
Right.
The Golden Horde traded with the Islamic world.
Right.
Hulagu was a threat to that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Plus territorial disputes.
Right. So classic power struggles.
Yeah, but with this religious layer.
Right. So the fall of Baghdad, not just an end.
Right.
It was a beginning.
Exactly.
The Mongols become part of Islam.
Right.
It makes you think about those ripple effects.
It does.
One event leading to something completely unexpected.
Yeah, history's full of those twists and turns.
Right. It shows how connected everything is.
Absolutely.
But this is also the start of a new renaissance.
Oh, yeah.
The rise of the Islamic Mongol dynasties, the Golden Horde, the Ilkhanate, later the Timurids.
Right.
They didn't just adopt Islam.
No.
They became patrons of art, science culture.
Shaping a whole new era.
So it was destruction and then creation.
A cycle.
Right. That's what I love about these deep dives.
Me too.
Finding these unexpected turns.
Right.
So how did these Islamic Mongol dynasties rise from the ashes?
It's a great story.
Right. And how do they leave their mark on the world?
Well, let's find out.
Okay, so we've got these Islamic Mongol dynasties rising.
Yeah.
But what did that actually look like?
It was more than just adopting the faith.
Right.
They reshaped Islamic culture.
In their own image.
Exactly.
But
so how...
Take architecture, for example.
Okay.
The Timurids.
Yeah.
Especially under Timur.
Right.
And his grandson,
Beg. Beg. Okay.
Famous for their mosques.
Right.
Mausoleums, madrasas.
Yeah, you see pictures of Samarkand. It's like another world.
It's stunning.
It's not just beautiful, but powerful.
Right.
Those intricate tiles.
Yeah.
The domes, the colors.
It's breathtaking.
So did they bring in something totally new?
Not exactly.
Okay.
It was a fusion.
Okay.
Persian, Central Asian.
Right.
Even some Chinese influences.
Oh, wow.
All blended together.
To create this unique style.
Yeah, their own style.
A hallmark of their empires.
Right.
It's like a visual reminder.
It is.
Of how they were changing things.
Reshaping the landscape.
Literally.
Literally.
So they weren't just patrons of the art. They were pushing boundaries.
They were innovators. What about science?
Oh, they made huge contributions.
Like what?
Think of Ula Beg's observatory.
In Samarkand.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the most advanced in the world.
At the time?
Yeah.
Wow.
They produced star catalogs that were incredibly accurate.
So while Europe was in the Middle Ages,
right,
these Islamic Mongol courts, they're pushing scientific boundaries.
Exactly.
It really changes how you think about that time period.
It does.
But this wasn't happening in a vacuum.
No.
Right? Were these dynasties part of a larger exchange of ideas?
Absolutely. Think of it like the Silk Road.
Okay.
But for knowledge, ideas flowing along those trade routes.
Right.
And the Mongols, especially after converting, they helped facilitate that.
So they connected East and West.
They were a bridge.
Creating this fertile ground.
For intellectual growth.
Right. Cross-pollination of ideas.
Exactly.
So did this affect everyday people?
Yeah, definitely.
Or was it just the elite?
It trickled down.
Okay, how?
They implemented new legal systems, often based on Islamic law, that affected daily life.
Like how?
Family matters, business shaping society.
So it wasn't just monuments and discoveries. It was a shift in how people lived.
A fundamental change.
It's almost like the Mongols, despite their conquests, ended up enriching the Islamic world.
Ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
A powerful example.
Of what?
History's not a straight line.
Right.
Full of twists and turns.
Yeah.
The Mongols, who we see as destroyers, they played this crucial role
in spreading and developing Islamic culture.
Exactly.
It challenges how we think about them.
It does.
And their legacy.
It makes you wonder, what would the Islamic world look like today if the Mongols hadn't come?
Would Baghdad still be the center of knowledge?
Maybe.
Would Islamic art be different?
It's possible.
Those what-if scenarios.
Fascinating, aren't they? And I think that's a key takeaway.
Right.
History is full of surprises and contradictions.
Yeah.
Even destructive events can have unexpected consequences, even positive ones.
It's a reminder to stay curious.
Yeah.
To keep questioning.
Absolutely.
And to explore the past.
To understand the present.
Absolutely. We've just scratched the surface.
We have.
Of these Islamic Mongol dynasties.
There's so much more to learn.
Their stories.
Yeah.
Their achievements.
Their impact.
And that's the beauty of history, isn't it?
It is.
There's always more.
More to discover.
So to all you deep divers out there.
Yeah.
Keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
Keep diving into history.
Until next time.
See you then.